Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to The Blind Life, where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. Today we are answering comments. So today we're starting a new series, hopefully it's going to be a new series, where Rachel and I sit down and we answer some comments in the previous month's videos. Maybe most frequently asked comments, and we'll be able to answer that and also have the opportunity to dive a little deeper into some of the things we didn't talk about in the videos, or I didn't talk about in the videos. So Rachel is here. She's going to be answering or asking the questions as well. The other thing is, hopefully this is going to be a very limited editing video, so I'm probably going to make mistakes. Sorry about that, but that's the whole point of this, is to be easy stuff we can do every single month and repeatable. But first we want to talk about some updates to the channel. Number one, what should we call this series? For the first one here, I'm just going to call it like The Blind Life Answering Comments or something like that. But if you guys have any suggestions, you have any good ideas, let me know down in the comments, and maybe we can find a really cool name for the series. Yeah, so the other thing is I'm going to try and do a live stream this weekend. This video is coming out on a Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, and I'm going to do, what time should we do the live stream?
We are childless this weekend, so we can do it anytime.
Yeah.
Let's do it on Saturday.
Okay, and you might need to speak up a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, our daughter is off at the beach, so we'll do it Saturday. 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. Eastern?
1 p.m. you mean?
I mean 1 p.m.?
Yeah, I think 1 p.m. Eastern sounds good.
Okay, so 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll do a live stream, and I'll put some messages out on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, hopefully by the time this video comes out, you're already aware.
Yeah, you'll already know about it. Something else is The Blind Life is now on TikTok. So I created The Blind Life TikTok channel. It's named the same thing, The Blind Life. I guess TikTok.com @TheBlindLife /@TheBlindLife, something like that. I'll have a link. There's going to be a link in the description of my videos now going forward. I'm sure if you just search on TikTok for The Blind Life, you'll find it.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I found it really easily. Yeah,
I've only got a couple videos on there so far. I just started it like this past week. But it's interesting. It's very different, short format video. I'm not used to that. It's in some regards it's harder because you got to try and get all the information in 1 minute or less.
Yeah.
So check it out, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. What else? Anything else?
Well, do you want to tell people about the fact that TikTok is not super blind user friendly, but you can watch it on a computer? Yeah.
So TikTok is not the most accessible app or way to consume content. It's vertical video, so if you're like me that use a magnifier to watch videos, it's very difficult. You're only looking at a very small section of the screen. For creating content on there, some of the buttons aren't labeled with screen readers. The text is crazy small when you're putting in your description and all of that. It's ridiculous how small the text is in the app. So just keep it in mind, but I figured we'll give it a shot. It is addictive when you're watching others. There's some funny people on there.
There are some really, really funny people on there.
Yeah. So check it out.
Okay. So the first video that we decided we would start with was your video about, I don't remember what it was called, but about Envision.
The Envision Glasses.
PDuffy83USA said, "Hey Sam, maybe you can put a little clip in this video saying that if you just want to use the Envision app in conjunction with your phone, instead of getting the glasses, you can, and it's very reasonably priced."
Yeah. The glasses are kind of an extension of the app. They bring the same functionality, a lot of the same functionality as the app. They just bring it to hands-free, where you can use the glasses. You don't have to have the glasses in order to use the app. The app is still a subscription-based app, so you do have to pay monthly. It's not too bad. I don't remember exactly what it is. Check it out. But you don't have to have the glasses. They just kind of make things easier, hands-free.
Yeah.
I think another common comment was about the Wi-Fi
Yeah, several people were. I can't remember what was mentioned in the video, but talking about Wi-Fi hotspots and if you can use mobile, like, can you just use mobile data?
Yeah, you cannot use mobile data to. Well, it's. I want to be clear. So you can set up a mobile hotspot on your phone and use the mobile hotspots for the glasses, so that you can use the features out and about. Some of the features will only work on Wi-Fi, so those will not work out and about unless you do a mobile hotspot. I didn't do that in the video because I don't have hotspots we don't have it on our phone plan. But I have talked to a lot of people that do that, and it does work. I've talked to people that have had issues trying to do that, so it's kind of hit or miss. But as far as just using your regular mobile data to use these features, it doesn't work. It has to be Wi-Fi, connected to Wi-Fi. So, that's why I wasn't able to do it out and about, because I don't have the Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone.
Okay, and then hands down, the most asked question on this video, Julia Finney Bryant, I think, was maybe the first one to ask it, but multiple people asked was, can you do a video comparing Orcam versus Envision?
Yeah, so yeah, I knew that was probably going to be a pretty popular comment, comparing it to Orcam. So, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I think Orcam works better. Now, there's a couple different reasons. I think Orcam just has the best OCR in the assistive technology world right now. The assistive technology space, Orcam is killing it with OCR. Because one reason is, well, it's fast, it's accurate, it's reliable, but one main reason is it's offline OCR. You don't need to be connected to the internet. Whereas Envision, as I said, a lot of those features didn't work, not connected to the internet. Envision had some benefits. It had a couple different features that Orcam doesn't have, which is nice. But overall, I think taking it as a whole package, Orcam, I think, just works better. A lot to do with the form factor too. The Orcam, you can put it on multiple different glasses because it uses a bracket system. You can put it on the left side of the glasses or the right side. Envision is just locked in on the right side. You can't change it. And you can buy extra frames for it, but it's an extra cost. So I think, in my opinion, overall, I think Orcam is just a better option.
Okay. Next video. Well, I think that was good for that video. The next video is the video about the
MiniVision?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, MiniVision
accessible 2 accessible cell phone. And there were quite a few comments, people just saying that this seems like a really great option for people that don't want a smartphone. Okay, Kai said, "Hello, Sam. I have finally found the perfect phone for me, but how do you turn on the voice on the phone? Does it already come with the phone talking, or is there a certain way to turn it on and off?"
So yes, the voice by default is already turned on, the screen reader. The nice thing is, though, that there is a setting to turn it off if you don't need it. Because it has the screen reader that will read out everything on the screen, but it also has high contrast, large print display. You can change the colors, like the background and the text color. So if you're someone that just needs large print, needs a little bit higher contrast, that sort of thing, and you don't need the screen reader, you can turn it off, which is nice. But yes, it comes by default, it comes turned on.
I'm sorry, I'm probably going to mispronounce some of these names, but Chimnoy Acharji said, "So awesome mobile. I want to learn more. I want to learn one thing. Is this phone able to internet browse? By the way, I love your videos, from India."
Awesome. Thank you very much. Hello to India. No, it does not have any kind of mobile browser built in, so you can't surf the internet. Right now, I should say. I don't know if that's something they're going to add in the future, but as it is right now, the recording of this video, they don't have a mobile browser built into it.
Okay. And someone said, can you go on websites with it? Which is basically
same
question.
thing. You can't. It doesn't have anything like that. It doesn't have, and there's no way right now, at least, to install third-party apps. So you can't put Facebook on, or you can't put WhatsApp or anything like that.
Several different people asked about, will it work in this country? Will it work in that country? Anytime you do a review of something like this, it seems that people often ask that question. How should they go about getting that question answered? Because you obviously aren't going to know every single country that something's available in.
Yeah, unless the company tells me specifically it's available in the UK, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't really know. So I would say I always put the contact information in the description of the video. I would say recommend going to the website, contacting the developers, the manufacturers, send them an email, ask those questions, give them a call. A lot of these things are international, though, so it may be available in your area.
Okay, so the next video is about the Looky.
Clover Looky 6.
Thank you, yeah. So Lester N said, Sam, thanks for sharing this with us. I have an earlier version years ago of the Looky. This seems much better.
Yeah, it is. And then I think someone else asked about, and Rachel may find it, but someone else asked about, or said that it had a lot of features. They were surprised at how many features it has. And I was too. Honestly, when I pulled it out and I started, doing the evaluation process, I was surprised at how many different features it had. Being able to customize the menu, the color filters, being able to take a picture and then save a voice recording to that picture, having distance viewing, having a touch screen, and then it just feels really high quality, in hand. So I was surprised. I know a lot of people on that video, as well as every single one of my videos, people say it's a little too expensive, but I think for the money, it actually has a lot more features than comparable devices in the same market space.
Okay, and I'm not sure if you'll know the answer to this question, but Tony Dwyer said, like you just said, it seems to have a boatload of features I wouldn't have expected in a handheld magnifier, which you said, he said, I guess I'm just behind the times, but I think you were surprised by it as well, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
And it says, it makes me wonder, though, how often you have to recharge the battery, and then also how long before the battery dies for good and has to be replaced.
I think actually one of the distributors answered that in the comments, and I think they said it was around 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. Palmer Vision said, with our testing, the battery lasts around 4 hours depending on the brightness setting you use.
Yeah.
Dollar for dollar and feature for feature, we have compared all these devices and find this one to be the best. If you'd like to discuss it, please contact us. So that was Palmer Vision.
Palmer Vision, yeah. And once again, contact information in the description. But I don't think there's a replaceable battery. I don't think it has the ability to replace the battery. Don't quote me on that, though. Once again, that's one of those things you might want to contact Palmer Vision and ask them.
Okay, I think that's about it for that video.
Okay.
So the next one is all about the white cane tip.
Oh yeah, my video about cane tips.
Again, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna not pronounce this correctly, but Cyril Boucher said, hello Sam, thank you for the video. Here in France, we don't have as much choices. I am using a small rolling ball attached to a spring. The spring helps to reduce vibrations, and the ball is good to go over cracks. I know a lot of people who purchase this spring tip, but it seems you don't have it in the USA, so I wanted to share it with you. In France, as long as I know, there's only one organization who is employing impaired people to make the canes. We don't have innovations like Ambitech canes. It's hard to find the tips you present or carbon fiber canes.
Yeah, that's too bad, man. I didn't realize things weren't as available in other countries like that. I have seen that tip. I've seen pictures of the tip. I've never seen it myself in person.
The spring-loaded tip?
The spring, yeah, it is. It's like a tip on the end of a spring. And so maybe you're right. Maybe it's not available here in the U.S. I don't know. But it looked pretty cool. But I'm sorry to hear that. Like I said, I'm sorry to hear you guys don't have access to a lot of these things.
Okay, and Emily's Journey with Blindness says, my favorite tip, which I haven't seen you cover yet, is a disc-shaped tip, which I believe is called a jumbo roller. It's just shaped like a flat disc, and I use that on my cane. It is made out of a similar material as the ball, and I started using it a couple of years ago and have never looked back. Yeah,
jumbo roller. I don't have that tip. That's why I didn't feature it in the video. But I'm planning on doing another video in the near future, where I test out all these all-terrain or off-road tips. And that's one that I'm going to look at probably trying to get for that video, the jumbo roller. I know a lot of people love that. A very, very nice O&M specialist up in Maryland sent me the Dakota disc, which I know a lot of people also talked about in the comments, the Dakota disc. So I've got that for the video. I've got the OmniSense tip. The Bandu Basher, that was the name. That same O&M person in Baltimore sent me information about the Bandu Basher. That's the curved tip that I didn't know what the name of it was. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. It'll probably be in August sometime, because we're actually going to the beach in August, and I'm going to get some shots of using these tips on the sand.
Yeah, because I'm sure it'll be, like, the Omni tip is not going to do well in the sand.
Probably not, no.
But I think that disc-shaped one will probably be awesome in the sand.
The Dakota disc is supposed to be really, really good on sand, so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, Joe Anderson asked, what do you mean using a cane as identification?
So, there's basically, in a nutshell, you have two types of canes. You've got mobility canes and then identification canes. If someone is really low vision and needs a cane for navigation, detect obstacles and all of that, they're going to use a mobility cane. But if someone is just low vision, like myself, and they don't really use a cane for navigation, they don't need a cane for navigation, then they can use what's called an ID cane or an identification cane. Oftentimes it's thinner than a mobility cane, and sometimes even shorter, much, much shorter. And in fact, so short that it doesn't touch the ground, you just kind of carry it around with you. I think I've seen that being pretty popular in Europe. But it just does what it says. It identifies you as having a vision impairment so that people around you will know.
Okay. And the next video is about identifying your credit cards and debit cards.
Yeah.
You wanted to give just brief information of what you talked about?
Yeah, that video was, I did a video a while ago about how to mark your cards tactically.
Yeah. For touch.
For touch, yeah. To identify them. All bank cards and credit cards, if you can't see what they look like, they all feel exactly the same for the most part. So you need to mark them some other way so you can tell them apart. So in that video, I talked about cutting a corner off or punching a hole into it, so that you could tell it by feel. Well, this video was about, for low vision users, how to identify it by vision, by sight. If you couldn't, if you got it from the same place, like my bank, all the bank cards look the same. Even if it's a different checking account, they're all going to look exactly the same. So that's the problem I ran into, and that video was talking about a solution.
Which was?
They should have watched the video.
Nearly Blind Brian says, I use brightly colored sticker dots on mine, but that's a great option. I'll check into it next time. Yeah,
and so that's something I thought about too, is putting some kind of sticker on it to identify it. But I thought that possible problem you might run into is, especially guys, using a wallet. But I know a lot of ladies use wallets, or their purse has little card slots, pockets. Sliding that card in and out of the little slots pocket, it might wear off the sticker eventually.
Yeah. Or
the sticker might get caught and peel off. So I thought about that, but I was looking for something that wasn't externally, I had to add to it externally, something I could, solve that problem without having to put something on it or something.
Yeah. Okay, the next video is the Vision Buddy V2.
Yep, Vision Buddy.
Which, do you want to just do a very brief?
Yeah, the Vision Buddy was an update. The Vision Buddy is a wearable device that's designed mainly for watching television, watching movies, right in the goggles. And it connects to a transmitter that sends the image right to the goggles. But it also has digital magnification and OCR. And so this video was kind of going over the newest version of that. Okay, and first comment is from Kelly Thompson.
which this is very funny because this is not the Kelly Thompson I know, but my best friend in growing up was named Kelly Thompson. Anyway, it says, only the beginning. I've been waiting for tech like this since Geordi from Star Trek. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah. I know, I was talking about this to someone else recently, and I'm surprised a company hasn't come out with the Geordi glasses, you know, and tried to recreate those.
Okay, so Matt Week says, it strikes me that this unit, optimized for video display, might be super exciting to use as a computer monitor directly, as opposed to viewing the screen through the device. An HDMI connection from the computer that sends the image out to the Vision Buddy. Thoughts?
Yeah, and that's actually something I talked about in one of the previous Vision Buddy videos. You can, so theoretically, yes, you can connect this to anything that has an HDMI out. Which would mean that you can connect it to a computer, you can connect it to a video game console, and see that in the goggles. The problem is that there's a little bit of a delay. And the problem is you move the mouse and just a split second or so afterwards, your mouse pointer moves. So there's just enough of a delay that it makes it difficult. And so, of course, playing video games is the same thing. You know, you move your character, and a split second later, the character moves on the screen. So it's unfortunate. I know that's one of the things that a lot of people are hoping this will be a solution for, is playing video games. I got a lot of comments about that in the previous videos too, and so Vision Buddy knows about that, and they're actively trying to improve the delay. So hopefully someday it will be viable for that.
Okay, Imaginationary Man says, another great video with great content. What about the NewEyes E2? I thought that it streamed TV, Comcast. Also, the E2 is the least heavy of those I have tested. The Vision Buddy also looks like the NewEyes E2. Thank you for all that you do. You are appreciated.
Well, thank you. Yeah, yes, you're right. The NewEyes E2 and the Vision Buddy, I believe, use the exact same hardware, the same headset. So theoretically, it should be the same weight. The NewEyes does stream content directly into the headset as well, but it does it a little differently. And for the NewEyes, you have to connect it to Wi-Fi in your home, connect the headset to Wi-Fi, and then you can have your streaming stuff come into the goggles like an app. It's basically a VR headset that they have some magnification and stuff in, but the VR side of it is still the same. So, you know, you can go into this VR room and you've got Netflix and Hulu and all this, and you click on it and you can watch Netflix or you can watch YouTube. The difference is, and where I had a lot of problem with it when I tested it out, is none of that is accessible. You can't make that menu any bigger. So
it's like hard to set up the different, because you have basically you have to connect all those apps within the NewEyes.
You have device. To sign into the accounts and everything.
So, but with this,
with Vision Buddy,
whatever you already have connected to your TV or your computer or whatever, you're just piggybacking on that.
Yeah. So, for example, what he said in the comment. Comcast. Yeah, NewEyes, you can watch your Comcast cable, but it's through the app in the VR menu. You have to set all that up. Whereas with Vision Buddy, you just plug your Comcast into the transmitter and it just sends the signal. That's all it does. So you don't have to deal with anything in there. And if there is a menu from your Comcast cable provider, there's a menu that is displayed. You can zoom in and make that bigger so you can see it better. So that's why I said it's the first streaming content headset. Technically, it's not the first, but it's the first to make it accessible and make it easy to use.
Yeah, because it sounds like with the I just forgot what's the other one. NewEyes.
Yeah.
If your vision like is as poor as yours is, basically someone else would have had to set it all up for you on the NewEyes, and then you'd be able to use it because it'd be set up. Yeah. But you wouldn't have been able to set it. You couldn't set it up yourself. You tried and couldn't because of it, right?
Yeah, and in fact, I should mention that this was about a year and a half, 2 years ago that I tested this. And that's the reason why you guys... My dog is shaking. And that's the reason why you guys never saw the video on my channel, is because I couldn't do it. I couldn't use it.
So hopefully they'll improve that.
And they may have.
And maybe they already have, but hopefully they'll reach out to you, or you can check back with them again, and then you can present it once it is something that you feel like you can fully use.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, something that was mentioned a couple of times, and is mentioned, I would say, on multiple times on every single video you make about assistive technology, is that it's too expensive. Yeah,
the price. That's my number one comment I get on my channel, is that these things are too expensive for the blind and visually impaired community. And I think we have, I think one of our final comments that we're going to talk about, we can go into a little bit further at that point.
Okay, so this is the last video that we're going to go over. This is the most recent video that's been out, is installing high contrast themes on Samsung Galaxy devices. And so this is just from last week.
Yeah, I don't think I've even looked at a lot of these comments.
There's not a lot of comments on it yet. So Coley O'Meara says, awesome tip, man. I knew about these, but a lot of people out there might not. And for a good number of visual impairments, these can be incredibly helpful. Always love your content, brother. Keep them coming.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, when I first, years ago, when Samsung first started doing theming, it was like a game changer for me. It was one of the first ways you could make your menus black, theme your dial pad and all that, your dialer. But really the notification panel and the quick toggles there, being able to theme those and make them more high contrast was huge for me. So, hi Willow. So I ever since then, I'm always on the lookout for the next best theme, the better theme.
And I should mention, I just noticed, I don't know if I missed it on any of the others, but Coley is a member.
Ah, thank you very much, Coley. Coley's a member, so
he has a little skull next to his name as a designator of that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you to all the members of the Blind Life channel. If you would like to be a member, check out the link in the description down below.
Okay, Swedish Disney, this is kind of a long comment, but I think it's got some good information in it. It says, hello, you've done it again. I love your videos. I've been using the yellow theme since I got my phone. I think it's not enough talked about. People just talk about dark mode, and I'm like, you can get so much better than the dark mode. Even for sighted people, that they love dark mode. I have had Samsung almost my entire life and always used high contrast. And with Samsung's premium high quality displays, it is as good as it can get in form of contrast. I don't know why visually impaired people are forced to iPhone when you can, for a fact, get so much better screen, colors, and contrast on Android, especially Samsung.
I mean, I do agree with that. I do agree. I see the benefit of iPhone. Now that I'm an iPhone and Android user, I've had conversations with other AT specialists about, I don't know why iPhone tends to be forced on a lot of people, especially people that are going through like voc rehab. They say, well, I need an accessible phone. The voc rehab counselors are like, okay, you need an iPhone. It's like, not necessarily. There's a large majority of us would be better with Android. And I've made it pretty clear, I think, on my channel over the years, my thoughts on when Android is better, when iPhone is better for accessibility. But that's so true. Android tends, especially Samsung, tends to have better screens. In fact, Samsung makes iPhone screens. But as far as resolution, contrast, the deeper blacks and all of that, Samsung does have better screens. So if you are still a visual user and low vision user, but you still use magnification and that sort of thing, large print, high contrast, I always recommend Android over iPhone.
Especially for the price.
For the price, you can just get more for your money. There's a lot more variety.
Customization.
The other aspects of the phone, as far as camera, size, all of that, you have more options with Android.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I should probably play devil's advocate. I've always said that if your vision is to a certain point where you're more of a screen reader user, then I recommend iPhone, because VoiceOver still does outperform Android as far as screen reader outperform TalkBack. So if you're a screen reader user, or if you're new to smartphones, iPhone is just an easier to use operating system. So I would recommend, I recommend iPhone in those situations.
I'm just making sure the battery is still good. It is.
Good.
Okay. Josh Reed said, great videos. If you haven't done it yet, it may be worthwhile showing how to set up the zoom accessibility feature for the Galaxy. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I just tap 3 times on the screen. It enlarges the whole screen really big. I'm assuming you've done a video like that.
I have, absolutely. I've done a couple of videos on setting up basically setting up accessibility on Android. But I did go over that. So, but thank you for the recommendations. I always love people recommending videos that I've got on my channel. I think I'm pushing 700 videos. I may be over that at this point. I'm not sure, but so it's always it can be difficult to come up with new ideas.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a recommendation for a video, definitely let me know.
And it's good because it might make you think, I did that video, but it's changed.
It has.
Because technology changes, and so it's great that people bring stuff like that up because it might make you realize I need to make that video again because I need to update it.
Absolutely.
And everyone should remember to, if there's something like that you're wanting to know how to do, search Sam's channel because there's a really good chance he has a video about it.
And that's a great point to make. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, on the actual channel, you'll see the picture at the top that says The Blind Life. Right underneath that is The Blind Life title. Right underneath that is tabs. There's a video tab. I think you start out on the home tab, but there's a video tab. There's a community tab. Community tab is where you can learn more about that's where I post different things as far as updates. There's a membership tab. That's where you can learn more about becoming a member on the YouTube channel or on the Blind Life channel. There's a merchandise tab that has some shirts and things like that. But then at the very end of that list, there's a magnifying glass. And if you click on that, a search box will pop out. And that's how you can search keywords on just my YouTube channel. So if you want magnification, if you want to look at the Vision Buddy video, search that right there.
Yep. And this one is an interesting comment that you probably haven't seen. Cameron Kahn says, brother, saying your channel is very informative. I must say, for the first time when I saw your channel on YouTube, I really liked it. I subscribe to your channel, but there is one complaint that you do not reply to my comments. I know at times it becomes very difficult to reply to each and every comment, but still you should. I replied, and you will come to know me with passage of time. I don't ask irrelevant questions. And then he goes on to say that Carrie replies to each and every comment, which Carrie's awesome. But I think she does have a few less comments than you do as well.
Yeah. Well,
or less videos, maybe.
And I do. I usually go, I'll post a video on Saturday, and then I usually go later on in the week, maybe even the next weekend, I'll go back and I'll go through all the comments. The problem that I run into, and it's not an excuse, I'm not excusing anything, and I apologize, I'll be better in the future, but I go through the YouTube Studio app to do the comments, and it shows all my most recent comments, but if I reply to a comment and then somebody replies to my reply, it doesn't show that. So unless I go all the way back and search through all my old videos, I don't see that reply. So I apologize if you leave a comment and I reply to it and you want to then reply again, you might be better off starting a new comment.
Yeah.
Because then I will see it.
Yeah.
So I apologize if people have noticed that. I hate that, but it's just it's not the most easy thing for low vision to go back and try and read through a bunch of different comments.
Yeah.
I'm sure Carrie does it. She's a lot younger than me, though.
I mean, in Sam's defense, I will say he easily spends at least 2 hours a week reading through and responding to comments. He truly does. And if he doesn't respond to your comment, it doesn't mean that he didn't read it, but he can't respond to every single
Well, yeah,
comment. And some comments are made, like, it's the same comment made over and over again. So he might respond to the first person that said it, but he probably isn't going to respond to every single one.
Yeah, or if someone just says, hey, great video, then, you know...
You might thumbs up it.
Yeah.
Like, give it a like or whatever.
Yeah, I respond to questions. If someone asks a question and I can answer it, I'll do that. But if someone's just saying, you know... Or if someone says, oh, I love the Samsung themes. You know, that wasn't really a question. I guess I could go in and be like, great.
Right.
But, you know, so it doesn't mean I didn't read it. It just means maybe I didn't answer or I didn't leave a comment.
Yeah. Okay, this comment that Sam is going to address is something, it's from an older video.
It's a recent comment, though.
It's like a month old.
Oh,
it's
okay.
4 weeks ago. Probably Sam feels like it's recent because he has been thinking about it a lot. So this is from Rob DeFrog, and he says, $1,500, I'm sure you got it for free, but the rest of us can't afford this, I'm assuming. Tired of disabled devices/services costing an arm and foot. Wasting my time watching this video. Should have known better. Sam, it would be helpful if you listed the price first or stated this was not for the common disabled person who is on disability or limited income. You get these things for free and then promote it? Honesty?
Yeah, so this was on the SuperNova video. SuperNova software, which is a kind of a competitor to Zoom Text. The first thing I'll say is SuperNova is not $1,500. I don't know where that number came from. It's less than that. And I didn't get it for free. I was using the free 30-day copy that anybody can get. You just go on the website and download it, and you get it for 30 days for free. You get to use it. I get some of these comments every now and then, and I've been on social media too long. I've developed a thick skin. These things don't really bother me, but this one I think kind of struck a chord because of that last sentence, like honesty.
Yeah.
Like I'm not being honest for some reason. And we mentioned this before. This is one of the number one comments I get on the videos. I think on this same video there was another one where someone dropped the F-bomb saying it was too expensive. And I hear you. In fact, I hear you so much that I made a whole video talking about why assistive technology is so expensive. Because that's one of the questions I get all the time is why does it cost so much? And so I made that video explaining about the economics of assistive technology and, you know, supply and demand, and it's a small market, and so they can't spread the cost out over a large group of people, so that's why it's more expensive. And I also spent the second half of that video talking about ways to afford these things. That, you know, you shouldn't just look at the price and think, oh, that's out of reach, I can't afford it. There are options out there. You know, some are better than others, some might not be options, but there are different options.
I want to address the honesty thing. And Sam getting things for free.
Yeah.
No one gets anything for free. Let's just put that out there. Most of the time when Sam reviews one of these expensive items, he does get it sent to him and then he sends it back. He doesn't get to keep the item. Sometimes he does, but it's pretty rare.
The little cheap, like the microphone, the $40 microphone, I get to keep that. Yeah, they send those out. They don't care about giving those away. But the $2,500, $3,000 thing, no, I don't keep it.
Yeah. And the other thing that you need to understand is YouTube has, for Sam, is a part-time job. I mean, it's part of how he helps support our family. And I don't know that people appreciate the amount of time and energy and thought that he puts toward these videos. One video that comes out has easily taken, depending on the video, minimum 3 hours to film. Minimum.
Yeah.
Often way more than that. And then it always takes more time to edit than to film. So you might be watching a 15 or 20 minute video, but before that video is released, just in filming and editing, Sam has probably put in at least 8 hours.
Oh, no, I was thinking 10 to 15 hours.
10 to 15 hours, okay.
Yeah.
And some of them much more. And that doesn't include all the time prior to that, thinking through what shots he wants to make, getting himself, because he does not drive and we don't have great public transportation here, so either aligning my schedule or finding other ways to get to locations to be able to film the shots, talking to the companies and going back and forth on agreeing on, you know, if it's going to be a sponsored video, how they're going to handle that, getting the items sent to him, and sending those items back, because once again, he doesn't drive and he often has to get them to FedEx or UPS or whatever. So this quote free item he got often is the result of 20 hours of work. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is, I don't think people realize how many opportunities Sam has turned down that he could have gotten decent amounts of money on, because he didn't believe in the product. He couldn't give an honest review that wasn't going to be super negative, which people are not going to sponsor a video that completely tears apart. Although he has had some sponsored videos that he was not very positive about the item, but if he can't be at least, you know, if he only thinks it's negative, he will not do it. So he has turned down opportunities to bring money in because his integrity and his honesty and the fact that his viewers trust him is the most important thing to him, because he knows if he's just saying whatever because he wants to get money from these people that'll send him money to put their products on the channel, then he's not doing right by his viewers. And the whole point of the channel is to bring this information, honest information, to the viewers. So for this person to question his honesty, integrity, really bothered him.
A lot of these videos are sponsored, and I mention that in the videos. I talk about it because, like Rachel said, this is a job. I'm doing this to help support my family, and
because you love it.
And that's the point I was going to make, is that I'm not getting enough to it's not an equal as for the amount of work I put in. What did you think? We kind of figured out the other day that I'm definitely making below minimum wage.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Per hour.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it. I couldn't tell you what your hourly wage would work out to be, but it's low.
Yeah. I you know, and this kind of goes along with the getting of free stuff. People just think, oh, you're on YouTube, so you're making tons of money and you're getting free stuff. No, not at all.
No, he's not supporting the family. Like, we couldn't live off of what you make on YouTube.
No.
We couldn't pay our mortgage alone off it. I mean, it's very helpful, and I think we are very grateful and lucky that you found this need, because you got in early. You were the first person really to do what you're doing on YouTube. And because you were the first person, you're most well known probably, that's doing this particular thing, and because you're good at it, you do have opportunities that other newer YouTubers don't have.
Yeah.
But let's not think that he's making big bucks here.
No.
That's not how it is.
No, not at all. I've put in a ton of work. I put in years and years and years of work.
Yeah, you didn't make a cent. Yeah, you didn't make a cent for like the first
5 years.
5 years or something, right?
Yeah. I've put in the work to get to this point, but I'm not nearly at that level. I do it because I love it. I love making the videos. I love, giving the information to the community. I love interacting with the community. But it is a lot of hard work. I think that's another thing. People don't understand how much work it is. Mm-hmm. Other YouTubers out there can relate, but like Rachel and I both worked a full day at our real jobs, and here it's in the evening time and we haven't eaten dinner yet, but we're making a video because that's the commitment it takes to grow on YouTube. Yeah.
And not to be like, oh, poor me. Like we're very grateful. I mean, I think you're incredibly grateful for the position that you're in, and that you get to do this, and that you get to make some money off of something that started off as just a hobby passion project type thing. But I just don't want people to think that like you're this big YouTuber that's bringing in millions of dollars, because that's hilarious.
I wish.
I mean, yeah.
It would be nice.
It's not like that at all.
No. And then something else I wanted to touch on with that comment. He said I should announce the pricing at the beginning of the video, and I'm not going to do that because I talk about pricing and I talk about availability. If I talk about pricing in the video, I talk about that at the end in the wrap-up section. Sometimes I don't talk about pricing because, once again, that's the most common comment I get on my channel is about prices is too expensive. And so I don't want that to occupy the comment section. So sometimes I won't mention the pricing. But then I get pushback. Then people yell at me for not talking about the pricing.
Yeah, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
I know. It's like, yeah, I talk about it, I get yelled at. I don't talk about it, I get yelled at.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, it's not my job to decide if a product is too expensive for you, the viewer. That's your job. My job is to present the information to you so that you can make that decision. I know that some of these things are really expensive. That's why I try to have a nice mix on my channel of expensive and not expensive. Because you have to remember that there are people that watch my channel that can afford this stuff. There's also a large majority, or not a majority, but there is a large section of my audience that are professionals working in the blind and visually impaired community. So they, voc rehab counselors, assistive technology specialists, O&M specialists, teachers of the visually impaired. These are people that work with blind people, and they watch my channel, I believe, to learn about new and emerging technology, and they need to know about it. And they work with companies that can afford this stuff. So they have just as much right to learn about this stuff as anybody does.
Yeah. And people that are going to use these tools so that they are employable or more productive in their place of employment, those people, either, number one, it's worth it to them to spend that money because they're going to be able to make more money because of it. Yeah. Or here in Kentucky, the Department of the Blind, if you need a piece of AT that is going to help you get a job or keep a job, they will, if they deem that yes, that you're right, this will help you, they will often pay for it. And their budget is not the same as an individual's budget. So there are absolutely people that this is helpful for. And if you are trying to get a job and you need assistive technology in order to make that happen, you need to really do research in your area, because I think pretty much every state has something that can help people reach their goals in that way. It may not be through the state, it may be through nonprofits or whatever, but you should definitely do some research and try to find that help.
So yeah, definitely check out that video that I talked about. I'll have a link in the description where I go over a bunch of different options. There's grants, personal grants, there's contests, there's like Rachel was talking about, voc rehab. Not every state has the funding, I know, but there are options out there.
And not for every item for every person.
Yeah. Obviously,
but
like I said, I because I know not everybody can afford this stuff, I do try to have a nice mix of expensive and non-expensive. I mean, I've got several videos on how to turn a smartphone into a DIY CCTV. So, I try to do a little something for everybody. Yeah. So quit yelling at me.
And be glad that Sam is much more patient and kind than I am. And that he's the one answering the comments, not me. Yeah,
I'm very fortunate. I don't get a lot of negative comments.
No, you don't.
But the ones that I do, I just laugh at, It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, if I'm doing something, and this is something I would say to that person that left that comment, if you feel that strongly about my channel and the way I make the videos, and you don't like it, you don't have to watch them. I love all the support. I'm very thankful for the support, but it sounds like maybe my channel might not be the right fit for you. So thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you later. No, but on that note, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we've been at it longer than I intended.
Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for watching. Thank you to my lovely wife for reading out comments.
And let us know if you like this format.
Yeah, and if you have a name for this.
Yeah.
Let us know. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I will see you in the live stream. If you have any questions, of course, leave those down below. Check out the merch, all that good stuff. The TikTok, all those links will be down below as well. Thanks, guys. See you later.